Hello, I am Nica Ombao. I am a cultural worker and a gender rights activist based in the Bicol region here in the Philippines. I am currently the regional coordinator for Bicolana Gabriela, a non-government organization fighting for women's rights. I have been given the wonderful honor to talk about arts and culture, something that I am very passionate about. For as long as I can remember, art had always been part of who I am. I could still remember the time when I got into trouble for picking up a marker and drawing pictures all over our house. I could remember how music is what woke me up in the morning and what lulled me to sleep at night when I was still a kid. I remember volunteering for every event or task that would involve performing when I was still in school. I was one of those really annoying people who seemingly got thrilled by role-playing assignments in class. I have an uncle who loves to draw and a grandfather who loved to draw as well. Both of them supported my art and told me that they were beautiful even if they were not. I have several family members who play an instrument, and quite a few who love to dance. And as with every Filipino household, everybody loves to sing, and every occasion has to have a karaoke machine. Unfortunately as well, I had a family who only thought of art as a hobby, something you do in your spare time from your full-time job. In high school, my school held this week-long event called Peacetime. This is where the student population were divided into 8 groups, and students chose a sport or an event to compete in to earn points for their groups to win peacetime. The year dramatic excerpt was introduced as an event in peacetime. I was absolutely thrilled. Performing had always been a thrill to me. My parents, however, weren't thrilled by the idea of rehearsals because it involved going home late, and they thought that it was inappropriate for a girl like me to go home late at night because something might happen to me. I only joined that event once. That was the last time I set foot on a stage as a performer for a very long time. That dramatic excerpt event happened in 2010. The next time I set foot on stage as an actor and performer was on 2017. To understand how my understanding of what art is and how I decided to be a gender rights activist, I have to share to you the most traumatic experience I've ever had. I am a violence against women victim. In 2016, my father beat me up in public. He was drunk because he was celebrating his birthday. I had gone out to meet up with friends because I didn't feel welcome at home. Things had been very hostile between me and my parents for many reasons that need not be mentioned here. I was at my friend's house and we were waiting for my friend's cousin when my dad arrived. He asked me to go outside and he beat me up there, right outside my friend's house, with everyone watching. I ended up with a black eye, a swollen face, bruises all over my body, and minor fractures on 2 ribs. A month after getting beat up by my father, I decided to leave home, and the perfect opportunity to pack up some of my things and run presented itself. So I left home. I sought refuge at an uncle's house where I knew I would be safe. One drunk night after I left home, I realized I don't know who I was because I had been hiding and running from who I was for so long because my parents didn't approve of my love for the arts. I had broken my wrist that night. I broke my wrist because I punched a wall. I punched a wall because I was very frustrated. I was frustrated because I realized I didn't know who I was. For years, I had tried to make a personality. I tried to build who I was. I tried many hobbies after my parents told me that they do not support my interest in the performing arts. I had found other hobbies that I love, like visual arts and debating. But to them, visual arts was too expensive, and debating made me too liberated, too strayed away from the image of what a good woman should be. On that drunk night, I decided to return to my first love. I've decided to pursue the performing arts again. I promised to myself that when the next opportunity to act and perform on stage arrived, I would grab it. A few weeks after that, one of my literature teachers told me that they would be having auditions for a musical production. She asked me if I wanted to audition, and I did. A week after that, we were in rehearsals. During rehearsals and performances of that musical, entitled Mga Ininipot sa Tao Kansalog, or Fireflies on the River, I had met people who taught me that art and performing are so much more powerful than what it perceived to be is, or what it is perceived to be. Art is not only a medium for self-expression. We do not perform for the sake of performing. The many forms of art gives you a voice. It tells stories. It moves people. That art can comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. After that production, I decided to apprentice at Sining Banwa, a community theater group based in Legazpi City in Albay, where our creed was, ang sining ng bayan ay sining mula sa bayan at sining para sa bayan, which means the art of the people is art from the people and is art for the people. We at Sining Banwa believe that we should use art as a means to tell the stories of the marginalized and the voiceless. We have used the stage to tell the story of struggles of the workers and farmers in productions like Oktubre, Gulong ng Kasaysayan. Underpaid teachers in Teacher, those who bear society's stigma because of HIV and AIDS in Gym Girls, the struggles of the LGBTQ plus community in Backstage, the desaparecidos and the atrocities of martial law in Punla sa Tigaon. The theater is not the only place we tell stories. We perform in streets, in parks, in markets, virtually anywhere, to bring the stories of the people closer to the people. Oftentimes, society makes our marginalized brothers and sisters feel unseen. We bring our art closer to them. So when they see us perform, see us dance, see us painting, see our murals on the street, hear us sing, they know that someone is listening. Someone is listening to their woes, seeing their struggles. We want them to know that even if this oppressive system running our country has removed their voice, we are willing to lend them ours. We are proud to call ourselves mga artista ng bayan, artists for the people. We are activists. With another fascist seated in power, the word activist has earned a bad reputation in our country, especially when laws like the anti-terrorism law are made to prosecute us for our political beliefs. We always say, walang mali sa paglaban, may mali kaya lumalaban. Fighting isn't wrong. We fight because there is something wrong. And we see that so many things are going wrong with our society. The COVID-19 pandemic response of our country has been poor from the very onset, and thousands of Filipino people had been killed since the beginning of 2016 under the false drug war. We will continue to fight as artists. We will continue to give the marginalized and the voiceless a voice. We will not falter under the threat of another fascist, another dictator. We will not give him our power. We refuse to give him our voices. We will continue to speak and we will continue to fight for women's and the people's rights. Again, I am Nica Ombao. I am proudly a cultural worker and a gender rights activist here in the Bicol region. I will continue to offer my life and my work for the people. I am Nica Ombao, para sa babae, sa bata at sa